Alrighty, so let's get started. I'm Tony, and this is the Jeep Talk Show Roundtable episode. Hello, Zoom people.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank all of you guys for being here each and every week. We do have a new person in here. Hopefully, it won't be too bad for you, Rain, but do appreciate you showing up.
Can't be that bad.
All right, you can be part of our weekly Zoom meeting. Just go to xjtalk.com-llc to find out how to join. So we were going to talk, and I think we're going to talk about this a little bit, but I don't know that this is a good topic, but that's kind of the challenge around here. You never know what's going to be a good topic and what's not. I've asked a few things that worked out better than I thought. So I was wondering if there is a connection between Jeeps and tattoos. So I'm just going to leave it up to you guys to answer. I'm not going to call on you, just answer. So does anybody out there have an idea about Jeeps and tattoos? Is there a link?
Tattoos of Jeeps?
Doesn't have to be, just wearing tattoos. I mean, the thought process here is, I'll explain myself. The thought process here is that Jeeps are a very unique vehicle, and we do modifications to the Jeeps to make them a little more unique, and we do things that a lot of people don't do, go off-road. And I'm wondering if that's something along the lines of what people do with tattoos. Not necessarily the off-road part, but I guess it could be.
So you're talking about body modifications on your Jeep and on your person?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
I would think they would be linked more to the motorcycle culture than Jeep culture.
I'd agree with that.
And why is it linked? I mean, I understand what you're saying, because I mean, motorcycles, you definitely see tattoos on motorcyclists, but why is that a connection? If anybody knows, I'm not a tattoo person. I've never been interested in having a tattoo. And so I'm sure there's other people out there like me, and they just don't understand, don't get it. Why you get a tattoo?
Jeep people they spend too much money on modifying and fixing their Jeeps.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, true. Ain't got no money for no stinking tattoo. Yeah.
We blew all of our money on parts.
Daddy needs some RCV axles. Yeah, I understand.
Larry's modifications are internal on the body, not the external.
I think it's more generational than connected to Jeeps, because most of the folks I know that have Jeeps have tattoos, but they're all of that particular age group that was more likely to get them. I've got a tattoo of a flat fender military Jeep on my back, being driven by a chili pepper in honor of my grandpa. So,
well, there you go. There's a good reason, and it's a Jeep tattoo. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think in the early days in the motorcycle side, like motorcycle people tried to be not, part of the in crowd. They tried to be their own people. And at the time when it really was kicking off into that culture, tattoos were taboo. And now in culture, they're much more accepted. Like you go into a Starbucks and your barista's sleeved. So it's not just the culture has shifted.
I kind of consider the Jeep culture like first cousins with the motorcycle culture, though, because I came from, that's what I did was I rode motorcycles all over the place till I had to wreck and smash my back and can't do it no more. Then since I've noticed there's a lot of similarities between the Jeep culture and the motorcycle culture. And I think that's why I kind of fell into it so easily, because it just seems like the same thing. And the tattoos your doctor's just as liable to have a tattoo as your lawyer or your local greasy spoon cook. Cause it's just not, it's like me. I got the exact same number of tattoos my Jeep does, 0. But I came more from the motorcycle culture.
I was to say, you were a veteran motorcyclist and you don't have any tattoos that I know of.
I sat in a chair a lot of times when I was in the Navy, but no matter how drunk I was, I couldn't, there wasn't nothing on that wall that I said, yep, that's what I want for the rest of my life.
So I've always said it, and perhaps this is sexist, but oh well. I can't believe that women get tattoos, because they like changing shoes so often. They like having multiple pairs of shoes, and some guys are the same way. I'll admit that. But it just surprises me that anybody would want something that permanent.
I was 18 and drunk. And I
It's
had,
always an excuse.
Well, when I was 18, I needed to work. Fortunately, nothing has surfaced. So,
well, I had to work too since I was 16. So
I have a few, but like as I've gotten older, like it just gets more expensive, and I'm like, that's a decent tattoo of a reasonable size is several hundred, if not into the thousands of dollars.
look at Garrett showing his tattoo.
And I'm just like, I've got other stuff I need to spend, that kind of money on.
some people call it therapy. I remember ex co-host Tammy. Whenever she would get a tattoo, she would have the need to get a tattoo, almost like it was a therapy that she had to go through. I think she even mentioned that it was some kind of therapy.
No, I hate getting tattoos, but I'm working on a sleeve, so I have to sit through it. So,
what's the why do you have to get a sleeve? Why are you getting the tattoo?
I've always wanted them. I just never found. I finally started settling on something that I wanted to get, so it's kind of more relating to like my heritage and stuff. But so I can trace my lineage all the way back to basically, if you want to say Ragnar, from the show Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
So I can trace everything back to them and to King James and the kings in Scotland and everything. So I just started going with all that stuff. So.
Is everybody on the same page with face tattoos or even neck tattoos? I mean, is that going too far? I guess it really just depends on how you feel about it and what your job is.
It's too far.
I think it for my job, I work in the medical field, so tattoos are frowned upon. But patients, they don't want to see a medical professional come up to them, with tattoos all over their face. It's my opinion.
Don't want to be having teardrop tattoos when you're working.
No.
I don't care what my medical professional has on them. Tattoos wherever they want. I don't care how many piercings they have. All I care about is whether or not they can do the job that they need to.
They're called career killers for a reason.
It's on the age group too. Like older people will frown upon that, versus younger people.
And it's older people that are generally visiting doctors more often.
I think that's what did it for me. I was at the beach and older woman, had all these tattoos. She took her, it just didn't age well. And I was kind of like, yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, but once you're 60, 70, 80 years old and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like so what, your tattoo done slid down to the back of your thigh? Who cares?
My opinion is this: teach their own. Live your life the way you want to do it. Do what you want to do. I could care less.
Well, what about Angry Grill and 22-inch rims?
Oh,
They make you happy.
That's fine because that means less people on the trail when I'm on the trail.
I just say
Right.
if they make you happy, just don't put them on mine.
Exactly.
All those people just ate up the sale price of that Jeep. So when eventually it comes for sale again, somebody can actually buy it for a decent price.
Yeah, and it's unmolested. I mean, it's not been beat on the trail. Perfect.
Yeah, right. And they wasted all their money on angry eyes instead of suspension parts.
So I saw a clip the other day. The Shark Tank, where a guy was trying to get the sharks, to invest in his tattoo machine, where it has a very high density dot ratio. So it does the tattoo, but it's like a printer. And it prints on your skin, and you don't see the dots, but there's a bunch of dots there. So now it would be possible for somebody to get the exact tattoo exactly where they wanted it. I would well imagine this would be bad for tattoo artists.
No
like it.
regrets.
Generated tattoo.
Yeah. I love that one. What was that, Ryan?
I watched the episode as well, and that's also a way for a local artist to get his artwork out nationally. And that was a good point. He's like,
oh,
hey,
yeah, I
they're gonna
like
get
that part of
revenue.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it was a great selling point. It's like, hey, this local guy, this shop, now can sell his tattoo and his artwork nationally anywhere. And I mean, the reality of it is everything is going away. Everything is going away. And if you can have your artwork done and design it and get it and put it out and have it sold everywhere to everyone getting a tattoo, I have zero.
Yeah, it's like selling software. You're selling
Right.
copies.
It becomes a different art, though. It's not the same art.
And I think that's going to be helpful for the tattoo artists, is because it's going to be, is that one of the computer printed ones, or did an actual person do that?
Original. Yeah.
And I think you're going to see a lot of that in the future, especially with the self-driving vehicles and the robots that are coming out. I think that people are going to be paying a premium for a human to do it.
And it's signed.
Like
They can sign it.
An artist that does a painting versus a print.
Yes. Good point. I like this tie-in. Maybe you guys won't, but a stock Jeep versus, say, a Henderson rebuild or a retro mod for your Jeep. It has more quality to it because Henderson was the one that did it. I sent him a message. He's still not here. Damn it!
In a heartbeat, I would give him my 89 YJ for him to build what my dream is.
Oh, he could stick that thing in his backyard just like you're doing, so it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. First thing he'd have to do is fix the transmission.
That would be he'd replace it
back there, though.
He'd replace it.
You need to put an AW4 in that transmission.
I thought there was a race to get transmissions fixed between.
There was me and Chuck.
Yeah, well, you're still farther along than Chuck is, I think.
Yeah, speaking of transmissions, I'm needing to replace mine, I think.
Oh no. Standard or automatic?
Automatic. It's going into limp mode. We just did a rear main seal oil pan leak fix, and now I think the transmission going out. The oil out of it is black.
So you know Rick, he's an excellent mechanic.
Yeah, Rick never has time. He can't even go wheeling with me when I want to go wheeling. Like he's always busy. He's got to work and stuff, or he's got to go with y'all to Moab, and I can't afford that. I'm broke.
Or he's always working on his own Jeep.
I'm not
Scavenging.
60 years old, with extra money in my pocket. Like Rick.
Hey,
She called you old, Rick.
Only Jeep I know how to work on is my TJ. That's the only one I know how to work on.
Well, I'm marrying a mechanic, and he's pretty good. He's been fixing everything.
Yep.
I say, why marry for love when you can marry for convenience of having a mechanic?
My wife married for health insurance.
Yeah, how come Dean's not on here? Dean's a big XJ guy.
He's actually putting a motor that he just rebuilt for a Jeep. I'm not sure what kind of Jeep it is, but he's working on rebuilding the motors. So he's out at the shop right now, putting that one in. So yeah, this is
a great show for the shop. So tell him he needs to get a TV set up in there so he can watch along and yell comments from the Jeep while he's working on it, screaming at it.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. We don't get any reception there, but we do have Wi-Fi, and maybe next time.
I always thought that it was kind of silly to do this stuff on YouTube, because who wants to just watch talking heads? But then there was a few listeners that were saying, hey, I've got a TV in my shop, and actually bringing up the show on YouTube is a lot easier than trying to just play the audio. So now we're in people's shops, and I think it's great.
A lot more fun when you're drinking too, and you're talking to people.
Always.
Travis, she's not talking about you.
TV. You got to buy a new TV.
Well, I saw Ricky drinking, so I started drinking. And then I've seen other people drinking.
Rick, you're
I don't drink like I used to on the show.
I'm drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, right. I know that stuff.
All right. Well, Bob's not here yet. I mean, was there anybody else had anything in addition to talk about tattoos? It doesn't sound like there is a connection between Jeeps and tattoos, generally speaking. I mean, obviously, there's going to be memorabilia, like a memory of somebody, like what Jacob was telling us with his tattoo of his grandfather Jeep type situation. So, but it doesn't sound like there's any connection between Jeeps and tattoos. And our listeners or viewers, if you think there is, and we've missed something here, we'd love to hear from you. So just go to xjtalk.com/contact and find out the ways that you can reach out to us. All right, so let's talk about coffee. I don't know if we have any rabid coffee drinkers here. I'm wondering what you do about getting your fix whenever you're out on the trail, maybe long away from places that you can get coffee.
Coca-Cola,
Jet Boil, Cowboy Coffee.
Yeah.
there's ways.
Yep.
This is Mint and Tony. I have a K-Pod coffee maker thing that's portable.
Oh, that's going to be expensive.
Just put hot water in it and push down on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Is that for K-Cup or is that for the capsule thing? The Nesco or whatever?
It's for K-Cup.
Oh, okay. Well, you know whose K-Cups they are on the trail. Find them, man.
I got the same thing. I got Jet Boil and a Chris. The same thing. K-Cup.
So I texted Bob. I said, Tony wants to talk about coffee. Look who just joined in.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
I literally just got off the phone with a realtor and happened to see your message, Steve. So
No, I just think K-Cups are just so convenient to pack away.
I think Bob's getting ready to get violent when you guys are talking about K-Cups.
Y'all see my coffee rated?
Oh, there you go. Coffee badge.
Oh, I mean, coffee's serious. I enjoy my coffee too, and my wife and I both do. I wasn't really a coffee drinker until I got into my my 30s, and actually I just did it at work because it was a way not to be hungry before lunch.
I think I drink coffee just about all day long. Some days.
Every morning I have 1 cup of coffee.
I even I'll fill up a thermos. If I have a thermos, half a thermos the next morning, even if it's not quite hot. I mean, as long as it's lukewarm, I'll drink it. But
so the worst thing the problem I had with coffee was, and I was doing IT stuff, and sometimes I'd be programming. And when you get into the programming, you're thinking about the logic of what you're writing. Sometimes you can forget where you are and what day and what time it is. So I'd be sitting there working along, and I would pick up that cup of coffee and drink it, and it was cold. And I was like, oh, holy crap. What day is this? What time is this? How long has this coffee been sitting here?
Yeah, that was one of the first things that I had to make sure, like the first time that we went camping, that we went wheeling and camping on the trails, is how the hell am I supposed to make coffee?
Yeah.
On the trail. That was like my priority. Like I didn't care about taking a shower or what I was going to eat. Like I was worried about, I needed coffee in the morning.
This is going to be a bad day for everybody. You and everybody around you is the way I think of it.
So when I go to work every morning, my coffee cup is red. And I tell everyone my coffee cup is red because it's PPE, it's personal protective equipment. This cup of coffee is the only thing saving every person in this building from me and my wrath every morning. Because I cannot hold a cup of coffee and strangle someone at the same time.
You just spill your coffee if you did.
I'm thinking more practice and just exercise that one hand.
It's like eating while driving a stick shift, Bob. Come on.
Y'all can keep the dirty bean water.
Now,
amen, brother. You preach.
Uh-huh.
The easiest
energy drinks.
Easiest way to make coffee is
bean water. I actually sent Tony pictures when he sent that email out that day of all the different ways I have of making coffee at camp or while on the trail.
You know, we were talking about tattoos before you joined in, Bob. Do you have a coffee tattoo or coffee bean tattoo?
I do not. I probably could. I'm pretty fussy with it. So, but depending on what camp is like, whether it's moving fast, getting going in the morning, or you're lounging at camp, I do everything from drip and pour overs to instant. Just as long as I got my coffee.
How do you drink it, Bob?
That's right. What do you put in there? Is it black? You got whiskey?
Coffee.
What do you put in there?
Why? I will say, if I'm not driving or I'm not doing anything, just day off, lounging, and especially at the holidays when my family and everything is hanging out, we usually get out Buffalo Trace bourbon cream and use it as creamer for our coffee. But normally just black.
Does anybody do decaf?
No.
Why would you drink coffee? Though?
Why would you drink coffee?
I'm in a complete agreement.
So yes, I will drink decaf if it's what is there, but that's because caffeine does not do anything for me. I drink coffee purely for the flavor, not for the caffeine. Caffeine does not keep me awake. It doesn't do anything for me. So if you put a cup of decaf and a cup of regular in front of me, and they're both good coffee, I don't care.
All right, so we're going to help the people that are concerned. You know, they're deeply concerned about maybe they're going to the Rubicon and they're going to be out on the trail for several days and not be able to get coffee. What's the best way to take care of the coffee fix each and every day? When you're out and away from any place where you can get coffee.
You talking like a caffeine fix or just having the taste of coffee?
I think it's probably the coffee thing. I think that not only is it the flavor, also to the caffeine. I think it's the act of having the coffee where it relaxes you. It gives you time to arrange your day, or maybe it's something you need while you're trying to fix your Jeep.
I would urge anybody that wants to know how to make good camp coffee to look up Kent Rollins Cowboy Coffee. Nothing better than camp coffee, the cowboy coffee.
All right, I've heard the term cowboy coffee a few times and a few times tonight. Yeah. What is cowboy coffee?
You basically boil the water and then dump the grounds right in the water, and then you get it to a hard boil, and then after about 4 minutes, you dump cold water in it, and it makes all the grounds sink straight to the bottom. So you can dump almost every single cup out of that pot and not have any grounds in your coffee because they're all sitting in the bottom of the can. But no filter, no percolator, no pour over, no drip, no instant, and it tastes. And I'll put my coffee up against anybody that wants to make it over whatever method they have. I think it tastes way better when it's made by boiling the water.
Good cowboy coffee is good.
Ground coffee, like Folgers ground coffee, or
doesn't matter. Whatever you want to use, whatever your coffee favorite is, just boil it instead of
just as long as it's a coarser ground.
It doesn't matter, Bob.
If you've got real fine, it doesn't sink as well.
Wow, if it's fine enough, you just drink it. Who cares?
But when I make cowboy coffee, I usually get it ground for French press. I find that is the best one for keeping the grounds out of the coffee and sinking them.
And do you take beans in a grinder, or do you take ground coffee? I mean, I guess we're getting into coffee connoisseur area here.
I usually grind mine ahead of time just so I don't have to deal with the grinder while at camp.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do too. I like to grind it, but just because it's one more thing to clean up after you're at camp, I just take ground coffee.
Meanwhile, the rest of us are trying to hit the trail waiting on you jackasses, taking forever.
So you do not have to wait on me at all. When I put my water on when I get up and boil the pot, and what I will usually do is I do a French press that is also the travel mug. So I just throw the grounds in it, throw the water in on it, put the lid on it, and get in the Jeep and start driving. And after 4 or 5 minutes, I just push the plunger down, and that's my coffee, and I start drinking it for the day.
Somebody wants to learn how to make good cowboy coffee. Like I said, just look up Kent Rollins Cowboy Coffee. And he's even down there in Texas.
My instant coffee.
That's why me and Tony Mitten are bringing our K cups because we can make coffee real quick.
Yeah.
Do you drink with your pinky out?
Water through the
If cleanup is an issue, I really like instant coffee for that. It's not as good as regular coffee, but
Terrible.
I can have my coffee instantly with just some warm hot water, and I don't have any cleanup.
I really can't stand instant coffee.
Instant coffee is
I can't
terrible.
stand coffee at all. That's why I just drink
So,
energy drinks.
I agree with instant coffees in general are not that great. If Tony goes back and finds the pictures I sent him, I put up the instant coffee that somebody turned me on to at camp one time, and it's actually pretty good. It's really good for instant coffee.
The same amount of work goes into instant coffee as it does into putting it in the K cup.
Exactly.
Same amount of work.
that French press, because like Clayton or Jason had brought one of those one time, and I'm sitting there like waiting for my coffee for 20, 30 minutes. Like, really? Like, I'm ready to get up and just boil that water and throw that instant coffee in there and that sugar and creamer, and let's go. But I do get up about an hour before anybody else because I like to get up and sit down and enjoy my coffee in peace without anybody trying to rush me to get on the trails. So
Yeah.
I get up early.
And I just can't imagine sitting around a campfire without some coffee to drink while you're talking to people.
Yeah.
Well, first thing in the morning it ain't beer time.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, here I can say I don't drink beer, so now I can join the I don't drink coffee crowd.
Well, and there's something else about cowboy coffee too. Like, I mean, and that Kent Rollins talks about it, but if you drink regular coffee that's coming through like a drip coffee, or it's not almost boiling, but it's not boiling water, and a lot of people will get acid reflux from coffee, or they'll get heartburn, or you got to go to the bathroom right away, afterwards. Something about boiling your coffee grounds that doesn't happen. It takes that bitter that most coffees will have a little bit of bitter to them. It takes that away. It takes the bitter away. It makes it nice and smooth. You don't find yourself, acid reflux or heartburn or having to run to the bathroom shortly thereafter. And I don't mean to take a pee.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. How bad is it having coffee out on the trail? From a bathroom perspective, yeah.
No, it's actually not the fact that you have to go to the bathroom. I mean, because coffee is a diuretic, so you're going to have to go to the bathroom. But it's people that'll literally, they got to go number 2, not number 1.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
But that just sets everything up for the whole day because you get that out of the way and done, and then you're ready to go on the trip.
Exactly.
But there's something about actually hard boiling the water that takes something away from the coffee that it doesn't affect people like that.
Oh no, because some people they still go to the bathroom every morning, no matter what.
Wow.
And so
and you can avoid the acid reflux and stuff if you get good coffee. That also helps.
Yeah. And part of the coffee experience is not just the coffee, because like my kids, they don't like coffee, but they love the smell. They that it's part of being home. You get up in the morning and mom and dad's got coffee going and you smell it. Even if you like my kids, they don't like coffee, but they love the smell of coffee, and it just reminds them.
I was grinding some coffee the other day, and I was like, "Good Lord, this smells so good!" And I wondered if people that even don't drink coffee, don't even like coffee, how could you not love the smell of coffee? Fresh ground coffee grounds is just an amazing smell.
As a coffee hater, and I do mean hater, I do enjoy the smell.
Thank you. That's great. I appreciate that. I was wondering about that just the other day.
Like I'm very hypersensitive to the flavor of coffee. Like if I go to a coffee shop with my wife because she likes coffee, and I get a tea or some like non-coffee drink, I will still taste the coffee because they don't actually wash anything. They just rinse everything.
Right.
And I can't do it. Like I hate it, but I love the smell. And I remember looking up at like my grandparents' house on the lake where you had all the fresh scents coming out from the woods and off the water, and you'd wake up to the smell of coffee brewing. And so I've always enjoyed the smell of it, but the flavor I can't take at all.
Yeah. It's so funny. I remember back when I was younger, probably in my 20s and something, I could not drink coffee with food. I mean, like a sandwich, for example. To me, the coffee made the sandwich have a chemical taste. It was so strange. It was just a really strange combo. It doesn't do that to me now, but I remember when I was younger, it was like, I mean, literally, it was like putting chemicals in my mouth.
Well, and there's something nice about it. I mean, even if you got like one of the old style tin coffee cups, a nice cool morning sitting next to a fire with a cup of coffee, it's warming your hands up and your innards.
Yeah, it's just fun.
When you're sitting around the campfire in the morning, you get up, you fire it up. Even if you're just not even the fire, just start to Coleman and start brewing a pot of coffee, and everyone comes around, whether they're coffee drinkers or not. Everybody comes back around the fire or around whoever's making the coffee to chat and BS in the morning. And, it's kind of like if you're at camp and you're not going into town, it's kind of like the way we do the Moab diner. We all meet at the Moab diner and start our morning. It's kind of the same thing when we're out at camp. Everyone gathers around the fire or the stove and gets their coffee and chats about what we're going to do for the day.
Brings people together.
Yeah. Commonality. And Steve.
Hey.
and why is campfire breakfast so much better than any other?
Good God.
Anything made out of on a campfire is always better.
Bacon even tastes better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like bacon, but campfire bacon is the best bacon.
Yep.
I remember my dad wanted me to take our cast iron skillet out on on the Boy Scout camping trip because he wanted it to have that seasoning, seasoning that I guess that you get over an open fire, wood fire.
I take my Dutch oven everywhere we go. Pretty much the same thing, cast iron.
Yep. Very true. Does anybody have a brand, or not necessarily brand, but a certain mix of coffee that you prefer over other ones? I mean, we've talked about how to make coffee out on the trail. Now, is there a good coffee to take with you?
I pretty much religiously drink Black Rifle coffee, Fur Missile.
I drink the Black Rifle Just Black.
I just drink the local coffee, community coffee, dark roast.
Most of the time, as long as it's a dark roast and there's no added flavors, I'm happy with it.
Yep, I like my coffee black, and if you can put some extra black in it, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you were into blacks.
Yep.
So I order mine from a little roaster in Salt Lake City up in the Avenues. It's called Jack Mormon Coffee Company.
Bob, I know how you love the beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's. Have you had the coffee from Buc-ee's? I think the coffee from Buc-ee's is pretty damn good.
I have. It's good. It's good it's like everything else at Buc-ee's. It's not amazing, but it's damn good for a gas station.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You have to qualify.
Gas station coffee.
Roger loves everything from Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
I bet you Buc-ee's doesn't even understand why they're so popular. It's amazing. It's a fun place to go to. I think a lot of it has to do with the size of the place. Just going out there and seeing how many gas pumps there are.
I've been tasked with bringing the beaver nuggets this year for Easter Jeep Safari.
Damn straight.
You have to put one, if you guys can get a campfire going, you have to get some beaver nugget roasting going on.
Reminds me, I got to bring some Twinkies so we can roast Twinkies again.
I knew that was coming.
Okay.
Marshmallow fluff and Reese's peanut butter cups. Stick the Reese's peanut butter cup on the stick and then dip it in the marshmallow fluff and then toast it.
See, I'm more of a hobo pie guy myself, with the little ham style sandwich maker. Fill that up with the blueberry pie filling. Delicious.
Man, sounds good. Sounds like it'd be something good to have with coffee.
My
Yeah.
wife likes to make them with the pizzas. Pizza sauce, mozzarella, pepperoni.
Right.
You do them with bread, or what do you use for a crust?
For the pies, typically bread. For the pizzas, those little pizza crust things, just cut them square.
I use the Pillsbury croissants.
I'll
They
have
were
to try
great
that.
for that.
I like those instant packets, the Folgers hazelnut, and then I keep some fresh creamer in my Jeep fridge.
You like coffee flavored creamer,
Coffee what? No.
huh?
That's
Coffee flavored creamer.
That's me. It's the adult way to drink cream and sugar. Is just you add a little coffee to it.
It's not coffee.
That's girl coffee.
It's coffee flavored creamer.
My wife gives me a hard time about how white my coffee is, and she gets really upset when she overpours the half and half into her coffee. I'm going, oh, don't be a baby, drink it. It's good.
I like a little coffee with my sugar and
Exactly. Cream. Yes. All right. Well, you guys mentioned some snacks. I mean, I guess we were talking about beaver nuggets and stuff. What's a good thing to take snack wise out on the trail? Do you? I think I guess Rick, you have probably the best situation where you just do peanut butter and jelly, and then look sad while you're eating it and get food from people around you.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
He can't carry very much in his little tiny Jeep that he has.
And not everybody drives a Mack truck giant Jeep, so you gotta do what you got to do.
Nothing wrong with doing it the way you want to do it. But I loved how you admitted, say, well, yeah, and sometimes I eat really good because quit eating that peanut butter and jelly. Come on over here and have this shrimp soiree or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, there's this one guy that we go camping with, and he has like his whole back of his Jeep decked out, and he has a big ass fridge, and he has a stove, and he just cooks for everybody. Like, he does a huge breakfast for everybody. So the first time I went camping with him, I said, I'm gonna camp with you every time because you always have food and coffee.
Yeah, always just cash app Clayton some money and say, hey, I'm gonna just send you some money.
I'm like, hey, I'm gonna send you some money for breakfast because you're cooking anyway. So
yeah, he's gonna cook for everybody anyway, so you might as well just give him some money so he can do it. This helps him along.
Exactly.
He don't need the money, and he don't want the money, but
I didn't think about it till now, but I think Rick was the first one to go over and eat the extra steak that I had at the last event.
You sure he ate it? Sure you didn't save it for later? Put it in between two slices of bread, call it a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No, I ate it. It was good too.
Ricky did feel bad for me the last time we camped together, though, and he gave me this 2-year-old energy bar or something that he'd been hanging on to for the last 2 years. His Jeep.
Well, it had fallen down between the console and the seat, and I found it, and I was like, I don't know about this. And she was hungry, so I thought, if you're really hungry,
Jeez.
I still have it too. I'm gonna pass it down to the next person, the next victim.
So we talked about beaver nuggets. We've talked about coffee at Buc-ee's. It doesn't have to be from Buc-ee's, but what are some of the places that you go and the food that you get whenever you're maybe traveling to Moab or really any off-road destination, especially whenever it takes you several hours to get there?
Well, I make my own beef jerky for this.
Yeah, I'd say jerky is the staple, and I hate going to Buc-ee's. It's such a pain. There's 50,000 people trying to get in and out of there all the time.
Yeah.
I was by the one here local the other day and stopped for fuel, and it was terrible.
You won't have to worry about me being one of those people you're trying to get around.
Well, I was in my Volkswagen and it's still terrible. It's even worse when I have the trailer and the truck and the Jeep.
Well, I don't go there, period.
We get it, Roger. You're not allowed at Buc-ee's.
Roger, it's got signs that say no trucks and Roger.
Everybody compliment Chris on growing his beard back because it was just too freaky without it.
It's whiter.
Back. It is whiter. You are correct, sir. But as far as where you go, I always like to find the local haunts. And for anybody coming up to Drummond Island, Steve, did you get to go to Tony's? No relation to Tony on the show, but Tony's in Birch Run?
Did not. I was stopped at the 7 Slot Grill.
Okay. Yeah, I think your route took you up more towards the west side of the state. But if you're coming out of Detroit, anybody go to Tony's. It's just called Tony's. It used to be Tony's on I-75, but they give copious amounts of food. It's been there for 35 plus years. It's a little comical, the amount of food. It's like an 8-egg omelet, a pound of bacon for breakfast, and half a pound or pound ham sandwich for lunch. It's
just
what's that?
The BLT that's just a straight hard.
Oh God, love BLTs. You know, Five Guys has a wonderful BLT for $27.
Never been there.
Jeez, Roger, you get all over the country, man. You need to get out a little more.
Chris,
I like the mom and pop places. I like the mom and pop places.
Going to eat with Roger is an adventure.
Oh,
each and every time.
Not if it's good.
No, I ate with Roger.
Well, obviously you haven't been anywhere good that I've been.
No, we had a couple. Did we have anything to eat, Roger? I know we had a couple beers, but
we ate because it was pretty good. I think I want to say it was like a roast beef or something like that, or a Philly steak or something. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but no, I like to find the local places. 7 Slot Grill's one I want to hit up. I think that's you're sometimes disappointed, but certainly the anticipation and excitement might overcome that.
That's what she said.
It always seems to be like the ma and pop places have better food and better service too.
The place down in Arkansas that everybody goes to down there is the Oark Grill. I think it's been there since like 1890 or something like that. The ceiling inside there is still the same ceiling that was, that latch ceiling, but it's amazing food. They're really good.
The coconut cream pie there is phenomenal.
Yep, but just about everything there is good.
One of the major off-roading areas in Michigan is St. Helen, Michigan, and it's a very small town, but it's like completely filled with trails. It has basically a gas station grocery store mix called Lou's, and that's all they have for a grocery store. They have some of the best fried chicken. It's even if I drive past the exit, I have to stop for the chicken. It's so dang good.
So we got a bunch of people from listeners and team members from the Jeep Talk Show going out to Moab, the Easter Jeep Safari here, middle part of next month. Are you guys?
10 days.
I'm sorry.
10 days.
Yeah.
10 days.
9 hours.
Was last year your first time going, Steve?
It was.
Yeah, so I can understand your excitement. It's a great. I mean, 20 hours, I don't care. It's absolutely worth going out there. It's just so much fun, and especially when there's people there that even if it's just you know them virtually. It's like getting to meet you guys in person is wonderful. I mean, you got these instant friends that you're wheeling with, and you're gonna have fun, and they're gonna give you shit, which is also part of the fun. So anyway, I have not been very impressed with the cuisine in Moab. I know it's a small town, and that's not the reason why you go to Moab. I mean, the Moab Diner, absolutely. I wouldn't say the food is stellar, but it is good, and it's fun meeting there every day. But I have had a few people say, "Oh, you must really like that Moab Diner." So hey, it's a place to go in the morning. It's a place to go for breakfast. So
Yeah, I think-
have you guys run across a restaurant at Moab that maybe we got people going out there, or they're going to go out there and a place where they should go eat?
I like Zach's.
You got it.
A couple times there, and I got to tell you, the place to avoid is the Blue Pig, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
Best place
not
in
very
Moab
good.
is that quesadilla trailer.
Quesadilla trailer. I didn't try
In the
that.
food, in the
Up
food
in
court.
the food truck at the corner
Yep.
where you turn to go to the food trucks.
Yep.
The
That is
quesadilla.
phenomenal.
Yep. I'll
That is
agree with that.
jailhouse.
I wish I could remember the name of it. There was a really great steakhouse I went to with Greg when we were there last time. It was in the middle of a mall, and inside of it even looked like a mall, but I
can
was
tell you the
quite
name of that
impressed
place.
by the steaks.
I went there a couple times with them last year. Me and my wife went there with them last year. I'll find the name of it for you.
Oh, really?
It's,
You
next
didn't
to the
share that with
bamboo
us?
place.
For
It was
breakfast, the best one is the Moab Garage. Is probably the best breakfast in Moab I found so far, just for the food wise.
So just so you know, there we were talking about this, I believe, before we started recording. There are car parts places there, vehicle parts places. O'Reilly's. What was the other one you guys were talking about? Was it CarQuest? Napa.
Napa.
Yep.
Napa.
So if you have concerns about that, there's lots of places to get fuel there in Moab, and a lot of eye candy. You see a lot of really nice builds cruising up and down the main road there.
Another thing really important to mention is there's a lot of auto parts stores, but there's also the BF Goodrich Garage.
Yep.
And BF Goodrich will sit there, and if you bring the parts to them and it's something within a reasonable time frame they can do, they'll do the install for you, no charge.
Oh hell, they tore Rick's axle completely apart.
Once because they didn't know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Hey, the name of that place is Dewey's. If you're wondering, Jacob, I think that was Jacob.
It took them 2 hours, or took two mechanics 4 hours to change out that axle. And I'm glad I didn't take Greg's Greg's advice and just start tearing into that in the driveway or the parking lot of that gas station. I'd have been in trouble because they were fighting to get that little piece out of it was lodged up inside the carrier, and they were not getting it out, and they ended up pulling both axles out. And then they ended up pulling the whole carrier apart to get it out.
Goodness gracious.
They did a lot. They did a pretty big job on your Jeep. I was surprised they went that in depth.
Yeah, but once they started, I mean, they got into it. They got it done.
Yeah, they're awesome out there. They're happy to be there.
Yeah, so buy BFGs.
Yeah.
And tip, they don't charge anything, but you can tip them and they don't turn it down.
No, that's good to know. Good point.
Oh, that is nice to know.
But they won't take tips just because they're doing it as volunteer work. So that's good to know that they will actually take it.
Yeah.
So in other words, bring some cash with you.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, BF Goodrich is paying their salary anyway, so.
Well, yeah, and I think you were basically just giving it to the mechanic. It's not like you were giving it to
the corporation.
Yeah.
Not giving it to the man, Roger.
Yeah, no, they'd replace the axle on the wife's. Well, after we fixed it, I had them take it out and put a new one in.
Another good point to Rick. So, Rick, you want to share your story about what happened and how you found the part? That's very important, I think.
Which part? Oh, yeah, broke driver's side rear axle. Dana 44 snapped it. Luckily, it was a clean snap, so I was able to get off the trail, and I could drive it like 3 miles an hour. So driving it all the way through Moab with everybody piled up behind me was a lot of fun. But anyway, got it to there. But I was looking all over the place for an axle, and I was looking at anywhere from $800 to $1,000 for an axle from a regular parts store there. I was able to find one. Actually, I found two. The whole set, both axles, on Facebook Marketplace. I think I paid like $250 for them, or I think so. It was like $250 for both axles, and they were, they come straight out of a guy. It was a guy there. He was from like Sweden or somewhere, but he was there local, and he had just put them on Facebook Marketplace, and I just happened to come across them and bada boom, bada bing. I was right back out on the trail the next day. Did poison spider and all that the next day.
So rumor has it that you've bought 4 axle sets that you're planning on trying to sell this year when you're at Moab to pay for your trip.
You know what? I didn't think about that. I could bring those axles with me. I got chromoly axles all the way around now, so I got all the factory axles. I could bring them with me and put them for sale.
There are probably people doing that, Tony, legitimately.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, because if your alternative is $800 to $1,000, 250 is pretty good. Hello, Australia.
Yeah, way down under.
Good day, mate.
That may or may not be the reason I'm taking that front drive.
He's gonna get it over there. He's gonna be like, I don't want this no more.
And the additional fuel. I see a pattern.
But Tony, Monday, someone breaks the drive shaft. Hey, I get $100. Here you go.
You only need the front drive shaft on the trail. You don't need it to drive home, though.
I wonder
but you get there on a Monday and break that drive shaft.
There was no marketplace, when you're out there at Moab and broke something and
well, apparently the Ford dealership on the south end of town is pretty good with having a lot of parts for Jeeps.
They had axle, but I want to say it was the axle they had. It was going to be like $750, $800 for
retail prices. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they also fill power tanks down there too at that Ford dealership. For anybody that's got one.
There's also down at the Y south of town, there's a kid out there that's selling parts and also is scrapping Jeeps.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So there's, south of town, way out of town, where LaSalle is where it's called. It's RMB 4x4. It's a shop down there, and he's got a lot of parts down there too.
Okay, that's good to know.
And he'll do work. I don't know what he charges or anything, but he kind of just opened last year, if I remember right. So it's a newer shop, but he's a local. He's been in the area forever.
And then there's the Richard on the trail with the rock, changing out the U-joint guy too.
So is Larry still here? I don't think Larry's going to Moab this year, which is sad. Which is sad because he has all those tools and the vise and all everything there.
He's got the welder.
He's got the welder, yeah. So
Jason was there. He was Mr. Toolman too. He had the whole Milwaukee toolkit breakup. I mean, that whole set, man, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I had a few. Jump in real quick. I don't know if y'all remember me. I met you all last year at Moab. I fan and listen to you guys sometimes, but don't often speak up. One other thing on the drive shafts. Rich actually listened to mine last year. I wound up getting a new drive shaft, and Tom Woods isn't very far away, and only took him a day to get it to me.
Yeah, Tom Woods. That's always who I pick for drive shafts on my vehicles.
Yeah, it was a good deal. And then also, if you get a chance, talk to the guy that is actually running the BFG garage. It's always the same dude. And I guess he's fairly famous in Baja racing. He'd probably be a good guy to talk to on your show sometime. But about how the whole program works, all the guys that are there, they're being paid something by BFG, but they're there because it's their passion. They love coming out to Moab and helping us out. And I mean, I saw them do some almost complete rebuilds on guys that tore up their suspension out there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, they changed out all the springs on a Jeep that was out there that had changed out all the springs on the coilovers, and he had a pretty built rig. I mean, that thing was really built, but
yeah,
they changed. That was a chore.
Yeah, and I'm also the one that winched Rick out, and also took Raina on her first camping trip.
Oh yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, that's when I fell in love with camping. I was hesitant at first. I wasn't sure about sleeping outside. I didn't think I was going to make it through the night. I was going to have to drive out of the woods and go find me a hotel somewhere. But
you ate all my food too.
Oh yeah, he brought food too. So he fed me, so it just made it. And he brought coffee.
I was
so
just going to ask about the coffee thing.
Yeah, so he had coffee and food. So yeah, it made it bearable even with the storms and everything, and rained on us, and like rained all over inside the tent on our beds and blankets and everything. But it was
that tent no longer exists.
All right.
But,
Well, sadly, it's time to wrap up at least the recorded portion of our show here. We do this every week, every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. That's when the pre-party starts. The show proper starts about 8 p.m. I say about because it's if we're lucky, we start on time. But always great conversations going on here before and after the recording portion of it. Nobody has to leave. The Zoom room continues on, and you can. I think a lot of the fun
keep going.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fun happens after we wrap up here on the recorded piece. You guys get nervous about being recorded. I think is why it is. We're also live on YouTube, so you can watch us live on YouTube, and you can also comment on YouTube if being here in the Zoom room isn't something that feels comfortable to you. You need your safe space. You can watch us on YouTube live and comment from the safety of YouTube. But you can always join us. We would much rather have you here on our Zoom meeting and hear what you have to say with us. All right, everyone, that's a wrap for this week's Jeep Talk Show Roundtable. A big thank you to all of our Zoom participants. You guys make this so much fun and informative every week. And, of course, a shout-out to everyone watching us live on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate you tuning in. Remember, you can join us again next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, for more Jeep Talk random questions and always a few rapid trails. Don't forget to visit xjtalk.com/contact to find out how you can be part of the conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.
Broadcasting since 2010.
Got a couple new people in here. Welcome, Jade.
Yeah, Jade was on YouTube, I think, and making comments, and then he jumped over.
Yep.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome in.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.